You want to talk about it? I'd rather laugh about it. Let's get a little dark about it.
On the Traumedy Show.
Welcome to the Traumedy Show. I'm your co-host, Rachel Wilford.
And I'm your other co-host, Megan Wilford.
And we've got a guest co-host, Danielle. And we're going to do part 2 of her story today. Very excited. Jumping in where we left off.
Oh, yeah.
Starbucks and Secret Service.
If you're just starting, you probably want to listen to the last episode.
Yeah,
right?
go back
For
to part
sure.
1. Go back
For
to
sure.
part 1. If you haven't heard part 1, go back and do that. And then come back here. And we'll see you then.
Yeah. But who doesn't want to start a story with Secret Service and Starbucks?
I always say that's the best way to start any story.
Yeah.
I have always said that.
You have always said that.
Thank you for validating that.
Wow.
Thank you.
It's meant to be.
It's meant to be that you're here.
All right, let's get into it.
Without further ado, part 2.
He became manic again in October of 2019.
Okay.
And
In my head, I'm like, the pandemic is around the corner.
it's around the corner.
Ah!
And, so he became manic again. And it was just, I remember this time it was different because we had set a new date. And I remember very distinctly, he woke up one morning really early and he's like, I gotta go to the gym. Okay.
You're like,
And
No.
that was like this sinking feeling. It was in the middle of the night and my heart broke. And I was just like, here we go again. And I just remember sobbing in the bed. And I'm like, I can't do this anymore.
I just want a
I
freaking roller
literally
coaster.
Cannot. I actually will not. And I kind of knew, I was like, I'll support you through this, but I don't know. You're kind of losing me here, and it's so sad. It really is just so sad to think about it and, think about all those feelings. But, so we went through another roller coaster and, it got to the point where he knew that he needed to be hospitalized because that's kind of what would help him get stable.
Mm-hmm.
Time and time again. He was very creature of habit in a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
But he, at one point he was pretty up and manic and not well. And he ended up calling the ambulance. Okay. I don't know exactly why, but I think he would sometimes, I think he configured that he had to say outlandish things to the right people to be hospitalized for them to actually 5150 him, which is when the hospital, the people legally have to keep you there because you're at a risk of yourself or others.
To be aware enough of I need to say these things
was aware.
to get to that point. It's a weird level of awareness, but also he knew that he needed the help.
He's breaking the fourth wall.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
No. And I told, and after the fact, we would have conversations like that around how'd you know? I have to say crazy things like that, And so, and it really is an issue with mental health and, oftentimes they don't have enough beds because we have such a mental health crisis.
Yeah.
They don't have enough beds to keep people and to stabilize that people need to be stabilized.
Yeah.
And so he knew that he would have to say something that wasn't really his character or maybe he didn't want to take his life or he didn't want to hurt someone, but
he needed to secure his spot. Yeah.
And that's the part of him where it's he's still in there.
Right.
His mania is not his friend. This is some guy that I don't know, but he's doing these things to try to help himself out, and it was just
right.
interesting to see that happen. But anyways, so he had ended up calling the ambulance, and they came and were kind of assessing him, and he apparently had said that he wanted to kill Trump. I know. Yeah.
My cackle.
Your cackle. Yeah.
And Trump's president at that time?
At that time.
He
is president. Yeah. And obviously, as they do, they take that very seriously. Okay.
Oh my God.
So he gets hospitalized. They take him to a hospital and 5150 him. And he, and I'm like, okay, well, see ya. And it was like so odd. Just like in these moments where he would end up being hospitalized, I would just get like this like sense of relief. Like, it was like respite,
Yeah.
Like, I can breathe easy. I can sleep tonight. Like, I don't have to worry. Because he would like wake up in the middle of the night and like go drive. And I'd be like, where's he going?
And you'd be so worried about him like the whole time.
Like, is he going to Vegas to like spend a bunch of money? Like, is he?
Yeah.
He would get on planes. He would just like talk to the wrong people. Like, he'd like pick a fight with a transient. Like, all of this insane stuff that is just so risky, right?
Oh my gosh.
And not him at all. So, like, okay, I can rest easy tonight, right?
Yeah.
So I'm, couple days later, I'm in the Starbucks drive-through, and I get a phone call, and I don't answer it because I never answer phone calls, numbers that I don't know. But then I get like multiple calls, and I'm like, oh, maybe this is something related to him, right? Let me answer. And all of a sudden I answer, and this guy goes, this is so-and-so from the Secret Service. Like, we're at your house and we need to talk to you. And I'm like, what? Like, I definitely thought it was not true.
Yeah.
Yeah. This does not happen to me.
You're like, I'm being punked.
That's funny. Like, what? The Secret Service,
like,
really?
As
like,
Secret Service?
Okay.
Like, what? Okay.
And he's like, I would say the same thing and be
like, who does this happen to? Right?
Yeah.
Not me. So anyways, I'm like, okay, like,
LOL, do you want anything from Starbucks? I can get you a cake pop.
Like, what does one get?
What does one get the
Black?
Secret Service?
Oh, something from the secret menu. That's what.
The pink drink or something.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
The grasshopper frappuccino. I used to make those. I used to work at Starbucks.
I used to work at Starbucks.
What? Oh
I
my
did.
God. Oh my
We
God.
could do a whole episode on that.
We could do a whole episode,
Dude.
like Secret Service, secret drinks. Secret menu, Secret Service
I would
drinks.
die if you showed up to your house with just like a bunch of drinks for the
Like,
Secret Service.
Yeah.
Your job is probably hard, right?
Yeah.
Really hard.
And like a lemon loaf and like pumpkin bread, cake pop.
Hell yeah.
I didn't want
The
to
egg
know what to
bites.
do. I just want you to like me. Like, service, right?
Trying to be a good host.
So anyways.
It's not every day the Secret Service shows up at your door.
Never. I'm like, at this point, I'm like, surely I can write a book about this. Insane. What is my life right now? Like, the actual Secret Service. So anyways, I decide to take them at face value, and I say, okay, like they're like, we're right outside your house and we'd love to talk to you. Can you come home? And I'm like, well, I guess you have to listen to these guys, right?
What? You're just like, no.
Make me.
Come find me. And this is why it's called Traumedy.
Yeah,
Right? Because
that's exactly
if you
right.
don't laugh, you're going to cry.
100%.
It's what gets us through.
Uh-huh.
So anyways, I come home and I politely invite these people up into my living room.
Were
And
they
by the
wearing,
way,
like,
I know
suits
you're all
or
wondering
something?
what they were wearing.
Oh,
I know you're wondering what they were wearing.
Give us the visual.
What are they wearing? Is it like fucking khakis?
Aviators, like sunglasses. No.
Normal jeans and a shirt.
You're kidding.
Lame.
Well, because they got to be
Normal.
incognito. They got to be secret.
I was literally
I wanted, like,
expecting
Men in
some
Black.
Men in Black
Yes.
like coming at me. I was like, yeah. I knew that was going to be your question or someone's question.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Damn.
yes, I invite these men up and they proceed to ask me questions about my ex.
Did they show you the badge at least?
Yeah, they did.
Okay, thank
They
God.
said, yes,
I'm like,
I
that's kind of
wouldn't have invited
scary.
them in.
Okay.
And I would have been like, yeah, get out of there.
Yeah.
Secret Service, my ass.
Yeah. I know
In
how
your Levi's.
I know how trafficking goes.
Uh-huh.
You're really Secret Service.
Yeah.
Sex trafficking.
Trying to trick a therapist.
Yeah.
Get out of town.
So anyways, yeah. They come up, proceed to ask me questions about like him and if he was someone that talks about Trump or has anything against Trump. Or
Just because he
this and
said
that.
he wanted to kill Trump?
Yeah, they have to very seriously take
Bro, who hasn't said
They're like, this guy's a trained
Right.
assassin.
Well, I think it was a busy year for Secret Service.
I was gonna say the
They're
amount of
vetting
people
every
on
threat.
Twitter
No, you
or
know
like
what? Actually, they caught up there and we were talking about how they just had to inquire Eminem because I guess in one of his
No
one of his
way.
songs it was pretty intense and talking about Trump. This
No
and that, yeah.
way. Are they going to show up at our door because we're recording this about...
it didn't
It's going to make
say
sure you
any.
don't endorse assassinating Trump.
Yeah, especially at a time.
Yeah, after it
We
just
do not
happened.
endorse
July
any,
13th.
Not endorsed.
any
We do not.
assassinations
No.
on this
I'd like
podcast.
to just make that very clear right
Yep.
now.
Yeah.
As
I mean,
Whoa.
presidents on either side.
yeah. But anyways. Yeah, it just
That's
was this
fucking
like
crazy.
insane moment, and actually, it's just like this moment that I had to like really stop and kind of like look around and be like, "Holy shit!"
I'm honestly kind of like impressed that the Secret Service has their shit together that much where they just go to your door to ask about this random dude in Southern California's plan to assassinate Trump.
Yeah.
Like, I have a little bit more faith in our like government Secret Service at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
well, and it, yeah, for sure. I mean, it was like, I think that's what confused me so much.
That
and
is so
made it much of,
confusing.
like wow, this is a big deal. Like
A
this is not
wake-up
something that,
call.
is normal.
No,
Yeah.
I love that your iconic moment of knowing you needed to leave him was Secret Service
In
calling
my
you
living room.
in the Starbucks drive-thru and coming into your home
Yeah.
to ask
Yeah.
you some questions.
But it was this kind of like really intense a moment where you
Yeah.
could tell they just had a lot of empathy for me and they were just like we kind of like maybe almost like we see this kind of often like or you know because
Yeah.
I think sometimes people do like make a lot of outlandish
well,
comments
sometimes
or-
the people, I don't want to like generalize mental health necessarily, but like, I don't know, sometimes people who do make rash, violent decisions are often not in the right mindset.
No.
I'm not trying to say that like this equals that,
No.
but
well I'm not saying that this is everybody's experience of
Right.
bipolar disorder
Mm,
either. This
totally.
is, like everyone is different, but I know there's a lot of people that have just looked around the room and been like, what? This is my life right now?
Yeah.
I mean, it was so sad because they were like, yeah, trying to empathize with me. I'm crying. I'm looking around. I'm like, this is just a normal house. They're like, do they have any posters or anything like up
yeah.
that would indicate that he was like thinking about this
Oh my
ahead of
gosh,
time.
yeah.
And I was like, no, like look around, like it's like really sweet pictures.
I'm just
of
a
us
girl.
in a frame. Like
Just a
you could
girl.
tell it's like a really nice little living room. You know, we live here, we love here. You know, like, and I was just like, I think this was the sign like God was looking to give me. Like, I think this is my wake up, and I think that I can't do this anymore.
yeah.
And I think I have to like choose myself now.
Yeah.
Oof.
It's
And
too
no
much.
matter like, yeah, I cannot do this anymore.
I just got chills again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Like if you really needed a sign,
I did. I had to
It
pray
would
for
be-
it. I literally had to pray for it. Like God, like give me that feeling that I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
Like, this is it.
I mean,
be
that
a
was
big
like
one.
that for you too,
Yeah,
right?
same for me. Same for me.
Yeah.
I had to
I had my own catastrophic event I caused, but it was like
Yeah.
also same for me.
Yeah.
It's like, all right.
Mhm.
Yep. This is that moment that you pray for.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
It's like, cause it's like, God, I'm not going to do it on my own.
Yeah.
I'm pretty deep in at this
Mhm.
point, and I really love this person, and I know that there's going to be this is going to be really hard road to figure out on the other side. And
Yeah.
I was just like, yeah, this is it.
When was this? This was
2019.
Okay.
October.
It was October. Okay.
2019.
Okay.
And so he was still in the hospital, and I just needed to get away. Me and my sister took a couple days away, and we just went and got a little spot in Joshua Tree.
Aww.
And
That's where Alexis got married.
Alexis's healing spot too.
Really?
Yeah.
That was amazing. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was everything I needed, and I was just like, yeah. I mean, sadly, I hate this, you know, but I did break up with him. Like, I called off the wedding over the phone when he was in the hospital. Because he could tell, like, it was different in my voice, and I just couldn't not be real with him. And I was like, I just can't do this anymore. But we actually ended up, you know, things don't move fast after that when you've totally... We were acting like we were married. We were basically
you had access to all his money.
I mean, yeah.
I mean,
had to
that's
figure all of that out.
Yeah.
You know? He was from Denver. I'm like, I felt bad. I was like,
You
I
brought
took
him
this
over,
man to California with me, and like, you know, poor guy. So I ended up living still in our apartment for a good like couple months almost before I got my own place.
Living together then for a couple months? Okay.
Was he
That
like
was
trying to
probably
get you to
hard.
stay with him or anything like that?
Yeah, I think like he was still in it, you know?
Yeah.
The dust had settled again. And he was back to normal, and I just really had to kind of like have my mind made up and make moves. And this time was different though, because I wasn't able to support him in the same way, and he actually ended up getting really, really depressed at that time.
But those 2 months when you were living together, but he knew that you had left.
The 2 months, and then after I had actually moved out of our place. So, I mean, I always like say, I mean, me and my family, we still talk about him, and my mom is like, you know, always kind of like, I wonder what he's up to, or I just was thinking about him. And, you know, I always say like it was the hardest decision I've ever made, but the best decision I ever made for myself.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the thing about coming out of codependency is you have to come to this place where you choose yourself, and you're like, I can't hold this anymore. Like I have to choose myself, and no matter what the consequences for them are, but I actually have to give them their feelings back.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I have to give them the responsibility back to them, which should have been theirs all along.
Because a relationship needs to be balanced too.
Yeah.
And that is so hard on you.
Yeah. And that was like the biggest thing was I was just constantly craving security and safety.
Yes.
Like, and that is so like one of the things that women, a lot of people, you know, but like we want the most. It's like, I want to feel safe and secure.
Of course.
And there were many times where I did feel safe and secure, but not when mania would just come and infiltrate our lives.
Did you think about what it would be like to have kids with him?
And
like,
was also a big part of my decision.
That's where my mind went too. Yeah.
Because he wanted kids and he would have been an amazing father. But like when I thought about us actually bringing human children into this world, I was like, I cannot put anyone through this.
Yeah.
In the same, you know, to experience what I've been through.
It was already hard enough. And then to potentially have children, to have to be strong enough for them and to...
I was like, this is not sustainable. Let's realistically think about this. Like actually be rational, Danielle, not just let your emotions lead the show because you love this guy, right? And I was like, no, there's no way. We will get divorced.
Yeah.
It's not if. We will get divorced.
Yeah.
And
You tell your kids like, oh, daddy's just gonna be acting a little strange for 2 months.
Nope. And sign them up for trauma. I was like, no.
Yeah.
I was like, I really want this in life. I still want it, you know, but I'm not going to sign up for this. You know, I will find that one day and it will be okay. You know, like that would not have been okay. And also there's the biological aspect of it too.
Yep.
I mean, it is a genetic thing.
Is it?
I mean,
Did it run in his family at all, or?
Yeah, he did have like a grandmother that
Okay.
sounds like she probably dealt with some similar things. And
Yeah.
even his mom has had some things.
Interesting.
So I saw it all in the family line, and I was like, I don't want to bring a child into this world that could possibly experience the same types of things.
Yeah.
So that was a big part of my decision too.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I'm not going to do that. And, so
it's a brave and important and like not selfish, but you had to prioritize yourself and your future children and like.
I had to choose life again, honestly.
Yeah.
Like I had to choose the life that I actually want. And it comes to a point, like I say this to clients all the time. Like when they're like, I keep doing this and this keeps happening, blah, blah, blah. Like I always say like, but you don't actually have to sign up for this.
Mm-hmm.
Like there is actually a choice that you have now.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to. Yes, it will hurt. Yes, it will be difficult. It's not going to be an easy road on the other side, but you do not have to do this. And you can choose the life that you've always wanted.
You can choose your hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because either you choose a life of hard with that, or you choose like a temporary hard and be sad and then have peace and relief. Kind of the same for me.
Yeah.
The same for me.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the same for anyone who gets out of a relationship that maybe wasn't right for them at the time. And you think about like, oh, but we lived together or this or that,
There's
or you
all
had
these
planned
things.
a wedding or like,
The
I'm
untangling.
getting
I
a
can't
divorce.
Go back,
Oh, the
I'm in too deep.
untangling.
I'm going to be
Yes.
so sad. How do I live without them? We have mutual friends. Or
Right.
they live in my
I have
family,
to
whatever.
disappoint other people.
Yes.
Like, oh my gosh, like
A wedding
all
planned.
these things.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But as 3 women in this room right now who have successfully untangled and been like,
there
it is
a
so
better
much
life on the
better.
other side.
Untangle yourself for the love of
Untangle
God.
yourself. It's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Like honestly, I mean,
Choose yourself.
It's always better.
Yeah.
It's always better when you do choose yourself.
Mhm.
When you live for yourself and yes, of course a relationship is amazing.
Mhm.
Like of course, for a lot of people they want that, right? If you want that, then it's amazing. It can be amazing. But like that's supposed to be the cherry on top. That's really what it is. Like
Yeah.
you're supposed what is healthy is choosing yourself and building yourself up, becoming you, who you're always meant to be, and then finding somebody that just makes it better.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like that's what a healthy relationship is. Not like
Codependency.
codependency, right? It's just being really solid in yourself,
Mhm.
and then
Yeah.
you get to find somebody who just kind of completes it all and
Adds
is
to your
adds
life.
to it, right?
Yes.
To the point where like if this person's not doing okay, I'm okay.
Yeah.
If this person is, like struggling or whatever, like I'm still solid
Yeah.
and I can be there for you.
Mhm.
But like you're not taking from me
Mm-hmm.
because I was just like totally running on fumes and had nothing else to give.
Yeah.
To the point where like after post breakup, I was just like, who am I? Like,
Oh, and then I keep
What?
thinking about the fact that then the pandemic happened.
and then the pandemic
like that
Okay.
is so hard.
Oh, and let me tell you, like I definitely like went through it. Like it
Yeah.
was definitely, especially through the pandemic, it was such a season of loneliness and just like you have this person that you're with for 4.5 years and it's the simple things that you love, like going to the grocery store,
Yeah.
right? Or like
Yeah.
just doing life together, like
Mm-hmm.
not even the romantic stuff, just like having that companionship
Yes.
and to have that just gone, it is. It's like, how do I do life again? Like, what am
Yeah.
I? What do I do? But like, I knew that it was going to be okay. I mean, I have an incredibly supportive family
Mhm.
and, they had been through everything with me. I, have great friends but it was hard. And on top of that, there were ramifications after I broke up with him. Like he went through an incredibly difficult season of depression, and it truly was like, is he gonna be okay? Like, you know, he was suicidal at times, and I had to be like, this is not because of me.
Yeah. It's not your responsibility.
It's not my responsibility. I did have to come to a point where I was like, listen, I'm not your support anymore, because he would still reach out. Like, I can't be this person for you.
Yeah.
You know? And so, I mean, eventually he did move back home, thankfully. And, you know, he has a very supportive family. And that made me feel really good.
You did everything you possibly could.
You did everything and
make it work.
Me,
like, you had to, like, you could confidently let it go.
Yeah. It was hard, you know, but, you know, I'm in a very good place now. I mean, so this was like almost 5 years ago now, right?
Did you do any of your own like therapy or?
Yeah, I did therapy just to kind of get through, I mean, just the fog, right? And have a place to cry about it, you know? I did go to therapy, and just, I think time was the biggest healer too, and having like very clear boundaries, you know? We did not do the back and forth.
Good for you.
You know, I did put a stop to that.
Yeah.
You know, eventually I did tell him, like, listen, I can't be your person. I'm so sorry. Like, you're going to have to reach out to other people. You know, I started doing life again. And the part about like, how do you be single now? Like, that was hard. That was really difficult. But I ended up getting a puppy, and that like completely changed my life. I'm telling you.
Emotional support pets.
100%. Like, if you feel lonely, get a dog. Like, you will never feel lonely again in your life.
Or a cat.
She completes my life. Shasta. She's my bestie.
Good.
Have you dated much since?
Yeah.
Okay.
I took a while to start dating again.
Yeah.
And then I got back out there eventually, and it was like the ups and downs of dating again. It was really difficult. But
Okay, Cupid's not a thing anymore.
I would not go to Okay Cupid, but I was on all the sites, man.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm okay traumatized.
Plenty of traumatization. I mean, tend not. I don't know.
Cringe.
Oh my god!
Stop.
Fumble.
Oh my god!
Can we keep going?
Tinder?
What else is
I don't know.
Match.not.
Disharmony.
Disharmony. That's good stuff.
Excellent. Can't wait to get back on the apps.
But I will say that Cringe turned into the app that you delete for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I'm very happily in a relationship.
Yay!
Yay! I didn't know. Okay.
How
Okay.
long's that been?
A year, just over a year.
Oh
And
my
I just
gosh!
have the most amazing
Oh, I love that you met him on
Okay.
Cringe Hinge.
Cringe Hinge.
Because
yes.
it's like
So did
it
Alexis.
gives. So did Alexis met her husband.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like some people are so anti-app, but there is hope. There is hope.
If I'm on there and I'm amazing, okay?
Yeah.
Like,
Yes,
and you're
queen.
amazing and you're amazing. Like, you will find somebody good if you weed out the bad ones.
Right.
Like, it takes patience and time.
Yes.
And, like, listen, I didn't like meet this guy right away. I
didn't just
deleted
fall out of a
I
coconut
deleted
tree?
it a few times, and then I was like, okay, let me try this again. You know, I had to figure it out. But yeah, I met my partner now, like my boyfriend, and we're very happy.
Good.
And he's definitely redemption about everything. And I just have the coolest story too that I feel like would be like a good ending, because I don't even know how long we've been at this. But so about podcasts, right? Like, podcasts have always been like something that I can, you know, you can kind of search up like whatever you're going through and try to find a podcast. Try to find an interview about somebody who's gone through what you're going through.
Yeah.
And just so you don't feel so alone, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when I was in the thick of it, I just remember like scouring YouTube, podcasts, different things. I was just trying to understand this mental health disorder.
Yeah.
And I was like so desperate to find a story of somebody who was like a success story, right?
And this
like,
is when you're still with your ex.
when we're still with our ex.
Okay.
When I'm still with my ex, right? And I'm like, oh my God, there's gotta be like an interview out there somewhere where these people are like, you know, he is bipolar and she's supportive and they're still happy and they're able to figure it out. Like, looking for something to fit my narrative.
Of course. Yeah.
And so I found this podcast called Mental Illness Happy Hour.
Okay.
And it actually is like interesting because it is very much about mental illness and comedy. Like the guy who runs the podcast, Paul Gilmartin, he is a comedian. And so he brings in oftentimes comedians to interview.
And all comedians have mental health.
It is a known thing that like, yeah, a lot of people do, like, you know, a lot of comedians do have a story, right? It's that dark humor. It's that dark humor that so, you know.
Sometimes actually the funniest people have been through like the darkest shit.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. And I can really appreciate that sometimes, you know, because I'm like, dude, like, let's make light of this. It's very serious, and we can talk serious all we want, but like,
it is such
sometimes
a valid.
You have to freaking laugh when you can tell people on a podcast that the Secret Service has been in your freaking living room and. Like,
in the darkest moment in your life, but like that's really funny.
Yeah, I can totally 100% I laugh about it now. I'm like, I got a story for you. Like, but anyways,
it's a healthy coping mechanism.
Yes,
laughing is good for you and it helps you handle and manage your trauma.
I totally believe that. I totally tell people, you know, let's find the humor.
This therapist endorses dark humor.
Yeah.
So
this fucked up episode of the Traumedy Show is sponsored by
therapy,
comedy.
Yeah.
So I fell in love with this podcast. I'd listen to it often, and he would do these segments where people would fill out these surveys.
Okay.
And one of the surveys was called also Awfulsome Moments. Okay, so people would write in with their awfulsome moment, which is like, this is the ironic thing that has happened to me. This is the dark humor thing that has happened, you know. And so at one time when he was having a manic episode, I ended up writing an awfulsome moment and submitting it. Okay. And it was on this brand new laptop computer that would have been exactly what I would have chosen, but he had bought it in a manic state. It was like $2,000. And I was like, you have to take this back. You cannot afford this. Also, if we're going to get married, like, what are you thinking? Like, all this stuff, right? So, but there was this one moment where he was like sleeping, and I was like probably drinking and just like, let me write an awfulsome moment, right? So I'm writing on this brand new laptop that should be returned. And I basically include that in part of my survey. And I talk about how, like, you know, tonight I decided to act super drunk in front of my manic boyfriend so that, you know, for the first time in our relationship, he can be the one that's worried about me instead of me being worried about him. And like, I'm just kind of like, whatever, you know, something poetic. And I'm like, hit send. I'm like, that felt good. Like, I don't know how this works. I'll probably never hear that ever again. Okay. So that happened, and the rest of our story continues and ends eventually. Okay. And then, so I want to say that was in 2019 that I sent that in. And after we had broken up, I didn't really listen to that podcast too much anymore, like here and there. Right? And so last year in 2023, I'm driving in my car, and just driving down the 5 freeway, and I'm finishing up a crime podcast. Okay. And I'm like, okay, I'll just let the next thing play. And so I'm like, oh, mental illness happy hour. Cool. I haven't heard that in a long time. That's just the way that it worked. It was, you know, like podcast, the very next thing just starts playing. And it's the most recent episode. And I'm like, okay, I kind of want to just get to the interview where they're interviewing the person who struggles with mental health.
Yeah.
Like, let me just, you know, you could do that 30 seconds.
Right.
I'm like doing that because it's he does a lot of surveys and a lot of talking before he gets in an interview. Yeah. So skip, like often, you know, or lots of skips I make. And then as I'm doing the skip button, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, that's so funny. I remember that one time I filled out that survey. I wonder if he ever read my survey. Like, I will probably never hear that because I rarely ever listen to this podcast, and there's like 700 episodes. I'm telling you, like, it's a lot. Okay?
Wow. Okay.
And so I'm like, okay, let me just stop here. And then he goes into literally reading my survey.
No!
On the most recent episode he had just released, like years after you wrote that submission.
Years after I wrote it.
Oh!
I skip. I don't even know if he's gotten to the interview yet.
Yeah.
It is quite literally, there are no odds for this to happen. It was totally like,
and
for
it's
me,
like
it was
4 years later.
Yeah.
There's probably thousands of submissions.
Yeah.
4 years later.
What in the world?
What in the world?
Skip. He starts reading my podcast immediately after I had that thought to myself. How funny. I wonder if he ever read it.
What the hell? That's so weird.
And I'm freaking out in my car.
Yeah, I would too. Rightfully so.
And I'm like chills all over. I think I like started like kind of getting emotional.
Yeah.
I was like, and now I'm getting the chills even. Like I was like, dude, okay. Like, I hear you, God. Like, for me, it was like a God moment because what are the odds? There really are no odds for that.
Yeah.
For me to be in this perfect place at this perfect time, the most perfect 30-second skips to immediately hear my...
You didn't even click to listen to this podcast. No. It just came on.
It just came on.
So, like, that's even another odd, random. Yes.
Odd. Okay?
Yes.
So, he reads it, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. Like, okay, what do you like? I hear you are God. Like, what do you want me to know right now?
Better place now than you were at that time.
This place.
Yeah,
I'm just like I'm dating Kurt. You know, I'm like going on dates, but I haven't met my boyfriend yet.
Yeah,
okay. And so I'm like, what does this mean? I remember journaling about it because I was like, I can never forget this. I'm telling people about it. What are the odds about this? Like, this is so insane. And I felt like it was just like a God just like kind of like hugging me and like telling me like I'm in all the details here. Like remember like that I know what I have for you. Like I just felt like it was like sincere, and it for me it was like it has to be God, right?
Yeah.
And so I just felt really good about that. I was like, how cool. Like, okay, he's in the details. So like I'm still like wanting to meet someone. And you guys, I met my boyfriend the next week.
Oh. No!
Yeah. Like 9 days later, I went on my first date with my boyfriend.
That's cool. It was like full circle closure.
Full circle.
Like closing that book. Yep. On to the next.
Yeah. It's almost like I took it to mean of remember one of your lowest points and you untangled, you unraveled, you climbed out of it, and now you're in that like that spot that you were saying that like independent, I'm okay in my own and I've figured out and I'm looking for someone to add on to my life. And then it was like reminding you and being like, look how much better you are. I gave you the sign and you're out. And then a week later being like, oh, that's so magical.
Yeah.
That is.
I totally take it as like,
that
was all supposed to happen. And
whatever you believe in, that is a weird universe.
Serendipity.
Sign, something.
For me,
little wink.
Like, wow. Okay. Like, this is so cool. And I get that. And it was actually not even like, it was a while before I really even realized the coincidence of those two things happening.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
for me, I'm like
in hindsight and in retrospect,
everything in hindsight, the relationship in hindsight, everything that happened in hindsight. It's like, okay. And that I think is like always my message for people is like, you know, no matter what you're going through, what relationship you need to end, maybe like you're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
You're gonna be okay. You're gonna find yourself again. If you do the right things to find your healing, like you will find yourself again. You know?
Yeah.
You're gonna get there. So,
and maybe with the help of therapists.
Yeah. I think a lot of times it's with the help of somebody who is totally outside of your experience.
Yeah.
You know, to kind of join you in on the healing process for sure.
You're going to be okay and you're going to be better.
Yeah.
It's, like growing.
Better
we were just talking about this with our friend McKenna last night of how, I mean, especially women, but everyone like can really level up from a breakup and just go through the trenches and the unraveling and untangling and then coming back to yourself is such
rebirth.
It's such a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And then to find the person who you're currently with, like just in a healthier place and in a place of understanding yourself and what you want.
And knowing exactly what I do want in a relationship and certainly the things that I don't want. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
Like I need stability. I need some, you know, like all these things.
Maybe why you don't marry your first boyfriend or girlfriend.
Yeah.
That's personal experience.
In her case.
In my case, not everyone's case.
Yeah. I mean, but sometimes or very quickly, it's like, sometimes you don't know someone. Everyone has their own thing.
Everyone has their own unique story though.
But, you know, we can convince ourselves to keep going with what's not meant for us.
We sure.
Anyone can.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Anyone can. Like a therapist can.
Yeah.
That's validating.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you can, anyone can.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, and it's my story.
That's a heartbreaking, beautiful, encouraging, gut-wrenching story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love to embrace it.
Happiness at the end.
100%.
Yeah. We were talking to you now versus like years ago or whatever when it was kind of happening. Like there's been closure and 100%. Healing and learning, and you're in a happy, healthy relationship now, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And that's out there for everybody.
And especially someone like to your point of who may be in a relationship with someone who has bipolar disorder or maybe some other disorder, and just like not to feel alone. And your story isn't necessarily not what everyone else's should be, but it is like, I haven't run into that much media, podcasts, interviews, whatnot of what it's like to be in a relationship with someone who is really struggling with their mental health. So this has been extremely eye-opening of what that perspective is like and what it's the challenges that come with it. Yeah.
I mean, it's intense, and you know, I would go to support groups. It was funny because I would seek out whatever help I could get to.
Of course.
And oftentimes I was the only like girlfriend there. You know, it was a lot of moms and dads and family members supporting their loved one. Very rarely did I see any wives or girlfriends, and I felt even more alone and even more questioning. And I would love to hear more stories about how it does work out.
Yeah.
You know, like that's what I was craving too. But I think it's good to just share your experience
regardless.
And the story that there's hope even after something like that. You know,
I guarantee you there's going to be people that listen to this that are on both sides of it. Somebody that chose to stay and they made it work, and this is going to be really validating for them to hear, but also somebody that chose to go and chose a different path, and they're going to be like, oh my gosh, I've never heard anybody go through this same thing. And I feel so validated, and I'm, you know, glad I chose differently or whatever. Like both sides of the coin. There's no, everybody's,
everyone's got a different story.
Yeah.
But with this, like, I love the idea of what does it mean to choose and prioritize yourself, whether that means staying or leaving, or like in the end, that's what you needed to do for your own safety and comfort and stability and mental health. You needed to end up leaving that relationship. But that's not the case for everyone necessarily. But at the end of the day, like, you have to take care of yourself and your heart and your mental health. And sometimes that means ending it. And sometimes
Even
it doesn't.
It is a great guy.
Right.
And I think that's the part that like kept me for so long and makes it a difficult story
so
to
painful.
Tell, is because it's like,
you don't have any ill will. You don't.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, he never laid a hand on me.
Right.
He never, you know, it would get to the point too where sometimes it felt a little emotionally abusive, you know, 'cause
Sure.
I was talking to someone that was not right, not well.
Yeah.
But you know, it's like there's so many people that are even dating the right people or really nice people. Okay. But it's still not their person. It's not supposed to be.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for coming on. This has been such a
whirlwind.
A whirlwind. It has been a whirlwind. It has been, I mean, I cried multiple times. I felt.
We laughed. We cried.
Do you have any final parting words or anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, I just think, you know, like I said, I've always wanted to be on a podcast. I've always felt like this was a story that needed to be told. And because, you know, people who have gone through traumatic relationships or difficult things, they can always play the what if game, like go back in their head. Well, what if I never went on that second date? Like maybe my life would be so much better, so different. And, you know, I just don't play that game with myself. Of course, I've thought that way a couple times, but I try not to play that game. I even, you know, sometimes tell clients, like, you know, it's not always helpful to play that game with yourself. You can really just kind of spiral in the what ifs, you know, but I choose to kind of take it as it is what it is. And it happened and it was really hard. And it was at times like, what's going on, you know, like really, really difficult, you know, but I am somebody who always kind of looks at, okay, well, what can we do with this story? Or what can I take from that to be a better person, you know, to be a better therapist, to know myself more. Like I've learned so much about myself, about the way world works. I've truly understood from a whole nother perspective what mental health is for so many people. Like this is a catastrophic, you know, thing that happens to people, good people. And, you know, like I understand it from a whole nother perspective now. And I get to be a therapist that understands what it's like for family members and partners to support somebody who's going through this. So, you know, I hope to continue to do that work with people, you know, in my therapy practice to, you know, I think it's really special when I get to talk with somebody who's been through something that I resonate with, you know? So I'm happy, you know, I'm just happy to be here to share my story and, you know, hopefully somebody hears it and can just kind of reflect on what they're going through, you know, if it resonates with them. So
guarantee it. Guarantee it. We're honored that you came on.
Aww.
Seriously, this has been so special and awesome.
Thanks.
So thank you so much for taking the time.
And so serendipitous. We emailed you like what, 2 days ago?
Yeah.
Can you come over on Thursday?
Like, yeah.
And this episode is going to be live in less than a week. So it is like, it just was like,
yeah,
in a week's time.
You kind of found the perfect person because I'm very spontaneous. And like I said, I've always wanted to do this. So it's so fun.
It was meant to be.
We're honored to be your first podcast. It won't be your last.
You don't
No.
think so?
No.
Hell no. Oh my gosh.
No.
That sounds like fun.
Once the world hears this story.
I know. Can you imagine if this blows up?
Oh no. Everyone's gonna watch it on their podcast.
I I have a couple spots for clients, just a couple.
Oh yeah. Virtual therapy or
I do virtual a couple times a week, and then I have a practice in Carlsbad.
Yay.
I see people in person as well.
Oh my gosh. Well, we have a therapist in Southern California and a couple
Therapy
open
rep.
slots.
Couple open slots. Yeah.
We know a lot of people in Southern California who listen to this podcast.
Yeah. Do you want to say your first and last name? We didn't say
Yeah,
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
It's Danielle Vanderford is my name.
Perfect.
I have a Instagram. I think it's so embarrassing. I don't know it by heart, right? But like Danielle LPCC.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what it is.
Yeah. If
We'll
you're looking
tag
for a
Danielle
therapist
LPCC.
who just fucking gets it.
I do get and has a lot of empathy.
I love it.
Absolutely.
Yay.
All right,
All right.
Thelonious. Anything
Well,
else?
No. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe where you listen to podcasts, and follow us on Instagram and TikTok at the.traumedy.show.
Bye.
Bye.